All right, my friends, today is January the 6th. Welcome to the first official market outlook for the year of 2025. So cheers, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I'm feeling extremely excited and optimistic about what's in front of us. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So let's go ahead and start off with the macro. There are no substantial updates that need to be had, but let's just run through some of this stuff that we have here. Yo, guys, hit that like and subscribe button for me. Appreciate it. Essentially, the idea is that, we expected Q4 to be bullish, and we expect this quarter, Q1 2025, to be bullish as well. So I slapped this stupid fractal on, and we drew our little meme triangle. These are my little doodles that I'm going to be operating off of. I really expect it to play out somewhat, similarly to what we just saw as we broke out of the summertime range. So really, there's no major updates to be had, right? I'm still really optimistic about everything. Right now, we have officially traded through 100K this morning in the New York session, and 100K is obviously the most important resistance that we have right now. So we're definitely waiting to see how we interact with this level moving forward. There's been a decent amount of spot flows coming through, so we want to see sustained spot flows. Basically, want to see the boomer TWAP stuff. The TLDR for the macro is, I think that we're about to just grind up. There's no real reason to expect us to trade any lower. Think about it, just a couple weeks ago or like a week ago, everybody was talking 80K, and all we were doing was trading back down to the range lows. The reflexive nature of these markets, I'm sure everybody's extremely bullish. I would be paying, one useful metric to be paying attention to right now is higher time frame open interest, because as we get some of these fat up candles, I'm paying attention to when the gamblers come in. That's going to be a potential, pullback territory sign to be paying attention to. So let's go ahead and move forward. Let's go ahead and move over into the medium time frame. So as it stands for medium time frame, it seems like we're just about to grind up. And the only reason why we should expect any selling is going to be around the event volatility next week. So we have the CPI on the 16th, I believe, and then the ANOG on the 20th. So basically that is going to be our window. The CPI might be the 15th. I need to double check that. It's 15th or the 16th. Either way, that is our window of vol, basically a day or two before the CPI, and then, maybe a day following the election. A lot of people are probably expecting to position around that move, which means that that increases the likelihood of us playing out how we did the election, right? This is the election move. The election day, we just traded up and then never pulled back and just trended, up $20,000, $30,000. So I'm not saying that you want to just yeet into leverage right now, because that's pretty stupid, but do be prepared for the idea that we don't actually do any whipsaw pullbacks, right? Everybody wants to see a fat $10,000 wick to buy into, but realistically, unless some sort of new information comes in around, the kind of macro data or something that spooks boomers, I don't see any reason why we're just going to continue trending, in the direction that we are. So medium time frame, the structure on this looks fantastic. Like we had talked about, coming back to the previous distribution, this is a classic way to view, value as well. When you're trending, you'll get these kind of little mini distributions along the way as you try to, say, its price wants to balance out here, but, the bid kept coming in. So it ended up building a distribution above it. So everything looks really good. Right now, we're definitely looking to conquer the 30-day rolling like we had talked about. As it stands, we're trading above that. So we want to see price sustaining above the 30-day. Historically, 30-day has been a fantastic trend following tool. Once the VWAP starts to develop bullishly, we're off to the races. So that's pretty much it, right? The events are going to be the main thing. Basically, I've doodled this a couple of times on streams and stuff, and I basically think that, this is the start of the year, and it looks like we're about to just slow grind until we get to the events, which is where you maybe expect some degree of volatility, and then up continuation from there. I want to throw this out there, that just devil's advocate against my original plan, because now that I'm seeing other people yap about this, it means to me that it reduces the chance of the event being the opportunity that you want it to be, right? Everybody thinks that, people will puke longs, and people will get, liquidated and stuff, and then I'll buy into that. Well, there's no real guarantee that any of that's going to happen. So I think that, you need to be prepared for both scenarios. Be prepared for the scenario where we do get volatility and actually puke and pull back from the events, or be prepared for a scenario where we really get a muted response and just continue chugging along upwards, right? Those are the two main scenarios. I guess theoretically the third scenario is that we lose momentum here, spot supply really steps up, distribution starts to take place, and that we round out and make like a, a lower high, right? I would consider that to be extremely low probability, although I guess technically it exists within the spectrum, so you gotta make a mental note of it. Let's go ahead and dive into the altcoin talk, right? So as far as I'm concerned with altcoins, I'm going to be scanning VWAPs on these kind of charts and looking at spaghetti a lot. Scanned spaghetti this morning. There wasn't any clear outperformance. AI was beating memes by a little bit in a couple other categories. I'm not interested in fucking around with these other random categories like DPIN and different things like this. I want to make this point. Just because you see DPIN at the top of the spaghetti today doesn't mean that that's the category that you want to go and chase. Like DPIN, nobody gives a fuck about that, right? Everybody cares about memes and AI, right? And maybe RWA. Okay, so my core bags all look pretty good to me. I'm not going to sit here and spend a whole lot of time yapping about these things, but I feel very good about how they look, and I feel like they could see continuation. A few others that I'm potentially maybe interested in, one of the first ones I wanted to point out was Ondo. I originally, my first Ondo trade, I bought the dip here and sold it at like $100 or $1.40. I wish I sold it at $140. $1.40. I sold some more at like $1.19. Decent trade. I was salty at myself for having missed it, the same trade in Q4 of last year. So I'm trying to run it back again. I basically think that Ondo is going to do one of these kind of things. So Ondo is probably one that I'll accumulate spot on. If I get a dip opportunity, that's where I'll be the most aggressive. As far as the boomers go, I think the XRP looks really good. And there's a few others, some of these meme coins, like, I'm maybe potentially look at something like, MOG or Mu or SHIB as just to have additional meme exposure. I already obviously have big meme bags, so I'm less inclined to focus on that. But frankly, I don't really like the AI options. We have our classic AI options of, World and FET and stuff, and they don't look terrible. And I already have some dog shit bags on these things. So maybe I add to them, and we'll see though. If I was between the large caps, I'm probably going to pick FET and WorldCoin over Tau. I know that Tau is up, I guess that's WorldCoin that's up the most right now, I don't really like these though. I really think that I would make the argument that probably the best memes are going to be newer AI, not memes, the newer AI. So honestly, most of you guys might, I'm just spitballing this here, most of you guys might be better off just doing trench AI stuff. I know a lot of you guys are already doing that. I don't really like a lot of the large cap AI coins. It's actually pretty crazy. I mean, how much these things have, got beaten down. I mean, yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. Again, very, very happy about everything. I got nothing negative to say. We're being blessed up with a lot of opportunity, so stay locked in and make your bread in Q1, because realistically Q2, Q3 will probably be boring this year again. So you wanna put in the effort in Q1, and then in Q2, Q3, that's when we can chill out a little bit, get organized, go see our family, do all those things that we need to get done. So that's it for me. It's January 6th. This is the first Outlook of 2025. Thank you, everybody. Cheers.